Blizzard, Blizzard, Blizzard. We need to talk, and we need to talk about something very important right now. You should know what it is. It is Diablo Immortal. I am Greg Campbell, by the way, and I once worked at Blizzard. This is actually a story for later in this video. But let's get to some important things first. We like your likes, we subscribe to your subscriptions, regardless of what Blizzard would say. So, let's explain my story. So, Blizzard, you've made some trouble for yourself the past few years. Including and especially with Diablo Immortal as of late. Sure, the game is, in terms of gameplay normally, pretty good. It's a Diablo game. This genre is your baby. You either birthed this genre with Diablo 1, the action RPG genre, or you made it very, very popular. So, the fact that you made such a big blunder regarding Diablo is a combination of stupid and, well, pitiful. So, I'm not gonna say shame on you, Blizzard. I'm not gonna claim that you should be ashamed, because shame just makes people repeat their mistakes. And we don't want that. Because we all want a better game from you. And a better company from you, Blizzard. So, let's go back and explain why I think Diablo Immortal is worth saving and how I believe it should be saved. As well as my experience with Blizzard and, well, my experience working with Blizzard. Okay, Blizzard? I really hope that you are listening to this, because this is meant to help you a lot. I don't like screaming at people, and I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, Blizzard. This time. You've done some icky things, you know it, but here's your chance to fix them for the future, because I suspect you want to continue existing as a company. So, Blizzard, let's just remind you of why people are not liking Diablo Immortal anywhere near as much as they should. It's because you have a fairly good game, but a horrendous payment system. I'm overlooking the fact that, for the moment, this game is primarily a mobile game. Yes, it has a PC release. And I understand that there's been some sort of toxic pricing structure going on in the mobile game market for many years now. But you should not be perpetuating this. You should have learned your lesson by now, well, with a combination of, one, the real money auction house from Diablo 3, which you got rid of many years ago, around the time that Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls came out. You should have learned your lesson regarding how to price freemium games from Hearthstone, aka Hearthstone, as well as Heroes of the Storm. This is your third major foray, Blizzard, into the realm of freemium gaming, and you are past your excuses. So, you thought you could get away with charging people about $25 US for about 5 minutes of content in a fully crested Rift run. This is way too much. $25 for 5 minutes is, well, $5 per minute. And even Blizzard, if this were only, let's just say, $1 for 5 minutes, that would still perhaps be too much. Because remember, Blizzard, you're dealing with a bunch of people who have either never played your games before, haven't played that much, or they are very into your games and they want to be able to enjoy them freely. So yes, Blizzard, I'm giving you some time in this video to catch your breath, wipe away those tears, and listen. So, Blizzard, you know that you charge too much. You know that you purposely confused customers with 22 currencies in Diablo Immortal. you know that you were exploiting people with menus in the cash shop. So, Blizzard, you know that at least as of when I was working at Blizzard, you had a strong internal QA team and a bunch of people, even those who weren't on this project, willing and able to play this game and provide lots of feedback. So, Blizzard, I'm not mad. I'm just very disappointed. And it's like seeing your heroes, and it turns out that your heroes aren't the same that they were growing up. Blizzard, you're a different company than you were when I was growing up, decades ago. I've had different interests, and apparently, Blizzard, you've had some changes of leadership. So, yeah, as the leadership goes, so go the people as well. I know this. Blizzard, let me just tell you my story. Things will make more sense. Likewise to you, dear viewership. Alright, take a deep breath, everyone. Here we go. It was decades ago when I first played your first game, at least the first game that I played, which was Warcraft 1. And I played this on a PC Gamer demo disc. Hey, do you remember those? I do. And Warcraft 1, I didn't understand that much at the time, but I was getting into a rhythm of it, and I eventually liked it enough to want to buy the full version. But by the time it came out, well, I was still in elementary school, like 4th, 5th, maybe, well, probably not 6th grade, but still, the sequel was out, Warcraft 2, and I got that one instead. And I'm glad I did, because it was, by all accounts, a superior game. Blizzard, you've had a way of just picking a genre that you've wanted to make a game in, and then just making a game that far surpasses other games of the genre. And you did this with Diablo, with StarCraft, with StarCraft II. You did this with World of Warcraft. Debatably, you also did this with Overwatch. You seemingly did it with Hearthstone. And, well, I know Diablo. I know Blizzard that, well, your last Diablo entry came out about 10 years ago. And I know that I stayed up late and, well, I was at the midnight launch of this because I wanted to play it, just like I had played The Lost Vikings and Blackthorn and pretty much everything else, Blizzard, that you've put out. Not every World of Warcraft expansion, but I was a fan for many years. But, well, I felt like I just grew out of you around 2015, 2016, around the time that Overwatch was released. I just found other games that I liked, and I wasn't keen on the notion of paying a monthly subscription or paying a lot for freemium games. I'd already played plenty of freemium games, and I just got tired of basically being expected to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to be able to enjoy a game. When in reality, a game is worth maybe $100 if it's released all at once and it's pay once to own. Maybe a bit more if you're counting DLC, and if you're paying for a monthly subscription, sure, it makes sense that you might be paying like $15 a month or something like that. But when you're expected to pay like $25 for 5 minutes of play compared to less than this for 1 month of a World of Warcraft subscription, that is insane. And Blizzard, one of the reasons I wanted to work with you so much was because I saw you as a company that was determined to make games and make them the best that they could be. Set standards in every genre that you went into in earnest. And yes, Blizzard, you went into Diablo Immortal, and you went into Diablo Immortal all in on your pricing structure, and in terms of charging people. And then when a bunch of people discovered that you'd gone all in on this, you had a bunch of people go all out. So, Blizzard, I considered working with you, and eventually I did work with you because, well, I was friends with a bunch of people who loved your stuff. I was I was friends with people who had worked there for, you know, 3, 5, 10 years. People who loved it there. And well, I'd gone to school with someone uh, who'd worked as a GM on World of Warcraft. And I'd gone grocery shopping with someone who worked on StarCraft. And we geeked out about StarCraft and our experiences with it in a grocery store. This was totally unexpected, Blizzard. These are and were some good times. BlizzCon 2013, my family actually encouraged me to go. I wasn't expecting to pay like $300 for a somewhat scalped ticket, but when tickets to BlizzCon sold out in like 30 seconds, yeah, that's to be expected. And it was worth it to me to be able to go to BlizzCon that one time. I was actually excited in 2015. Yes, 2015, many years ago now, when I actually got to work at Blizzard. So yes, I worked at Blizzard in 2015, August and September of 2015, and I was part of the ramp up to BlizzCon 2015 later that year. I was working on StarCraft II, Legacy of the Void, and Heroes of the Storm. And technically, I did not work for Blizzard. I was an independent contractor. I worked for a staffing company called Vaults. And I make this distinction because there are some people in the audience that are attorneys or otherwise want to know, so I'm just making that unmistakably clear, lest there be some sort of legal confusion. And now, Blizzard, with that said, yes, while I was working at Blizzard, my email address at Blizzard had a .nbe added to it, meaning I was a non-Blizzard employee, just like a bunch of other people who were hired as part of our class. So, yeah, I was part of I was part of a team who had some you know teammates, coworkers who loved Diablo so much that on every break they'd be playing Diablo 3. I felt I felt at this time I'd already been finished with the game. I had my fill of it, but sure, it's a Blizzard employee playing a Blizzard game on a Blizzard designated break. Sure, but I was already seeing some seeds of mismanagement in there. Blizzard, you've had basically your founding cast leave. People that I looked up to, like Mike Morheim, uh, Chris Metzen, you know, people that were instrumental over the past many years regarding Blizzard. And yeah, and I got to actually meet Chris Metzen in person at a bar, and I'll give him my card. We talked about StarCraft, and we talked about his legacy with Blizzard and how he got into gaming. And it was a wonderful time. And this is just something that I wish I could be talking about and focusing on, and maybe even playing Diablo Immortal instead of reminding you, Blizzard, that even in 2015, I was seeing signs of mismanagement. That you were bringing people on as contractors in 2015, and you were giving them you were screening them, but you weren't letting people know that you were screening them, and it seemed like if they were making any mistakes, they were gone very quickly, as in they were dismissed from post. I was part of this first round of it, and even though I was doing what I should, I was learning about things like what Project Titan was before it became Overwatch, and legally I'm not sure I can tell you, so in this video I won't. But yeah, I was seeing signs of mismanagement, that you weren't giving people a chance to learn and grow. That even though I was learning and growing and doing what I seemingly should have been, I was given let's just say, the weakest computer that could only run one copy of Heroes of the Storm at a time. And then I was told that I was not doing my job because I simply did not have the technology for it. I filed with the compatibility lab, basically the IT department at Blizzard, and yeah, they assumedly got this thing running, and they assumedly fixed the problem. But well, that was that. Uh, People there were quite friendly, but when it came to the leadership, uh, I'm cautious about naming names, but at least when I was there, there was someone in leadership named Jay and someone else named William. I'll let you research their full names. But they seemed just to be quick to get rid of anyone who didn't seem to be quickly meeting their standard, even if this was just basically a witch hunt. So, yes, I was dismissed 8 days into my contract because someone thought that I had given some wrong answers during training, and that put me in their minds as ready for quick dismissal. Even though during the exit interview, I gave them the answers that they sought, that I was actually learning and growing very much more quickly than the management had realized, and the look of shock and terror on my supervisor's face as he realized during the exit interview he had made a mistake. Well, I'm sorry, but I not really. I can say I'm sorry, but you made a mistake, and well, I just didn't go back to Blizzard and I put Blizzard games on timeout. So, yeah, that soured my taste for Blizzard. And Blizzard, you made me learn about what you've been doing as of late in some of the worst of ways. The fact that I only basically the only reason I learned about Diablo Immortal being released after years of it being, well, is it actually coming out? If so, what platforms are getting it? Yeah, the only reason I learned that Diablo Immortal was being released was because certain people were complaining that it would cost over $100,000, $100,000 to max out a character in terms of gear and level. And I later heard that this number was in dispute, that this was theory crafting, this was hypothetical, not an actual number. But let's just say it's close enough to being true to warrant consideration. $100,000 is a year's wage, maybe more, depending on where you live. It is perhaps a college education. It's an expensive sports car. Now, top of the line, not the most expensive you can get, but I could buy some cars for this. I could buy a house in certain parts of the world for this price. That's utterly ridiculous. And maybe it's only, let's just say, $5,000 to $10,000, but Blizzard, that's ridiculous. That that's ridiculous. You know that you're trying to get away with something like this, and you know that it was going to hurt you. Now, for the people who actually made the fun game underneath all this controversy, thank you, and thank you. I know what it's like to work at Blizzard, to work crunch time, to be there like 13 to 14 hours a day, and feel like I'm not sure I actually mattered because I could be here and I could not be here, and the work would have probably gotten done anyway. That is not a good feeling to instill in the people that you're trusting to help you to profit. And Blizzard, if you'd actually focused on making Diablo Immortal a proper installation into the Diablo franchise, like we all know that you can and should be doing, regardless of what platform it's on, and not feel like you have to bow to pressure to, catch some whales because this is a mobile game, then yeah, people would be loving Diablo Immortal, and you probably would have gotten paid a lot more based on word of mouth and positive press alone. So take a deep breath, Blizzard. I will too. So here are some solutions, or at least partial solutions, on how to at least partially fix this problem. One, your abusive pricing structure absolutely needs to stop. You've already damaged consumer trust, and you've also probably damaged employee trust about this. I know Blizzard that at least when I worked at Blizzard, that testers who were paying for freemium purchases in your games that were in their test builds were reimbursed by the company For example, for Heroes of the Storm, someone might pay $100 for some cards, and they'd get reimbursed by the company. In the wild, Blizzard, people are not getting reimbursed $100,000 just so they can test out what it's like to play your game and get through it in speedrunner ranked time. Blizzard, if this were any other game, would you seriously be paying anywhere near $100,000 or even $10,000 or even $1,000 to be able to enjoy the game? The answer is probably not. You know, one of the reasons I really like Blizzard games is because I could pay once and own it and enjoy the game for years. Last year, Blizzard, I really got into Diablo 2 again. And this is before the Diablo 2 Resurrected came out. So yes, I was basically playing a 20-year-old game and loving it. And I'd already played the game for hundreds or thousands of hours. So, Blizzard, you know how to make a game that people want to play years or decades later. So, yeah, Blizzard, here's something else to consider. What is your game actually worth financially? Because you should just be charging that to players. Issue some massive refunds if necessary, and give people who spent loads of money on premium purchases in your game, give them some sort of tremendous benefit. So, yeah, maybe give them some, spiffy cosmetics. Maybe give them a lifetime subscription to something. Whatever it is, Blizzard, yeah, this game is worth, at present, no more than $100. And that's me being generous and accounting for the fact that if this were Diablo 3 or 2 or 1, there'd be an expansion pack. And yes, there was an expansion pack for Diablo 1. I loved it. But anyway, Blizzard, yeah, some refunds, some major compensation is in order. Blizzard, you've done best in terms of pricing games when they were just a monthly subscription fee, possibly with some add-ons like World of Warcraft expansions, or pay once to own experiences like Diablo 1, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, and their expansions. You, Blizzard, really want to give a wonderful gaming experience, but the fact that you're trying to be a competitor on a mobile space really messed with your head. So, Blizzard, you can still rectify the situation. You can, for example, make a PC-only version or that's pay once to own and just, fix the cash shop for all versions. Maybe sell some experience point boosters. Maybe some loot boosters, mild things. Sell some cosmetics in the cash shop if it must exist. But also remember, you're Blizzard. You should not need some sort of cash shop in a game that likely should be costing like 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks. Yeah, I know that EA and Activision and some other games have been negative influences on the gaming industry. Blizzard, it's time that you remember your history. It's time that you remember your identity. It's time that Deckard Cain has not died in vain. Blizzard, just remember what made you great. And that was making the absolute best games for the largest amount of players that you could. And giving people great value for their money. That is your mission statement on your webpage as of this recording. And Blizzard, we all know that you can do better. You should be doing better. So, Blizzard, let's just say I'm giving you this one last chance. And maybe, I'll play some more Diablo Immortal if you actually fix it and make it worthwhile to me and to many others. Maybe I'll play some more of your other games, but there's a very good reason, Blizzard, that FromSoft has done the world a very great favor when it comes to releasing games in their full state. And at least with you as of late, Blizzard, you have it. Elden Ring, offers maybe 100 hours of content for $60 plus tax, tip, and delivery. Blizzard, you could be in this position where I'm praising you instead of blaming you. So Blizzard, here's your chance. Are you going to give in to this demonic temptation and act like a demon, like you have been lately? Or will you rise above and act as a champion of justice and a paragon of good in these last days? Blizzard, it's your call. But you can't just say it, you have to be. You have to be it. So, Blizzard, remember who you are, treat your customers fairly, apologize, and make things right. And hey, Blizzard, if you want my help in actively fixing this stuff, let me know. I can help you in Irvine, where I worked, or I can help you elsewhere. Regardless, thank you, Blizzard. Thank you, viewership. Good night. God bless. And Blizzard, get a fixin'. Thank you, everyone. It's time. Bye now.